Some major XRP headlines are, going around the crypto space, and I want to talk to you guys about it. We're going to go over some key points and really talk about what kind of impact this can have on the price of XRP. Looking across, the board, obviously I will pull out the charts, shortly, but take a look at this. Bitcoin's current rally comes with 12.1% increase in global M2. The more they print, the more Bitcoiners they create, says River. And you can see, crypto bull market and not driven by global M2 supply growth yet. But we know the positive correlation between the M2 money supply as well as BTC, and pretty much Bitcoin is following the trajectory of the M2 supply. If we're looking across the board right now, we're starting to see once again coins are picking up traction. We are seeing HBAR up, XLM, Algorand, IOTA, even XRP. If you're looking at the price of XRP, $2.81 as we're recording this update. Going into Sunday morning. So it's midnight here right now in North America, but we are going into Sunday morning at $2.81 as we're recording this update. Also up 1.2% in Bitcoin comparative. Now, if you're looking at the market cap, $166 billion. Since our last update, you're looking at about a $5 to $6 billion increase in the valuation with the with the 24-hour trading volume at about $6.6 billion. Quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So the major headlines that I've discussed with you guys are pretty much this. So Monday, July 14th. This Monday could be, a pivotal moment for XRP, literally a game changer, once in a lifetime, opportunity. The reason why I say this is because, of course, the magnitude of what could happen. We are starting to see a lot of ETF filings that are happening, for XRP, and one of the ETFs could literally go live. And yes, we're not talking about derivatives, we're not talking about future, that we're talking about a spot ETF for XRP for Pro shares, and the deadline is July 14th for the SEC. This would be huge for XRP. XRP's price already heating up, going into obviously this upcoming week. Obviously, the SEC does have till July 15th, believe it or not, to make any sort of changes, whether they want to delay it or they want something to be reworked. They can come out till July 15th to come out and say, this or that. But if nothing has come out from the SEC by that specific date, ProShare spot ETF goes live in the US, which would be a pivotal moment for XRP. That's why everyone has their calendars marked for July 14th. But what I want to know from you guys in the comments is what your personal thoughts are. Do you think we are going to see this, really going through, or do you think we might see a delay? Regardless of that, in my opinion, I think it is inevitable. We will see that happening sooner rather than later. But on that note, happy second birthday to XRP is not a security. So what this pretty much means is on July 13th, 2023, 2 years ago, this was when the ruling said XRP, the native token, is not a security, which was 2 years ago, seems like yesterday, and look how far things have come. Where was the price of XRP around that range? Not at the level where we are right now. Where was the regulation in terms of crypto? Where was the interest for crypto at that time? Not anywhere near. And just a quick reminder to you guys, and it kind of correlates and is pretty much on the same topic with this specific thing. So 2 years ago, it was labeled that the native token XRP is not a security. And now look at this. John says the XRP takeover has begun. 11 asset managers, which are about $240 billion in asset under management. First they ignored, then they laughed, then they fought it. Now they are lining up for ETF filings like at a gold rush of 2.0. The XRP era is here. So again, a perfect example right here for us. And on top of that, XRP is trending right now on Twitter. You can see this for yourself. 60.5 posts, and it is, trending big time on Twitter, which of course is now known as X. A lot of people are starting to pay attention because the price is starting to go into the 23.6, started pushing the $3 price point, and pretty much after that we could start looking for all-time highs. And obviously, that does bring interest, and this time interest is not just coming from the big money, it's also coming from retail. That does tend to happen when things start heating up, and that's exactly what we're seeing happening right now. And on top of that, the Korean exchange upbid is still massively outperforming the rest of the global exchanges. While money continues to flood in, it begins, countered by the rest of the world. Korea is currently sustaining the price of XRP, according to Chad. And let me know in the comments down below what your personal thoughts are regarding this. Where do you see the price of XRP going into this upcoming week? And most importantly, let me know down below whether or not you think this spot ETF is going to go live, or we're going to see a delay. But if you're looking at the price, as far as dominance is concerned, you can see this for yourself. We actually did go up to 64.95% on Saturday, but we are starting to see the dominance, pull down once again. A great sign for altcoins. BTC, on the other hand, is pushing back up to the $118,000, which is great. So, Bitcoin is starting to show strength. Dominance in return is starting to show, weakness, and altcoins are going to have a field today, and that's exactly what we're looking at across the board. Pretty much everything is going back into green. Now, if you're looking at the price of XRP, and also do let me know in the comments down below if you agree with this. Again, this is a complete speculation, but IOTA, HBAR, Algorand, XLM, these projects, ADA even, they're up right now. And of course, XRP and ISO compliant coins, of course, the blockchains, if you understand how that works. Is there something that maybe insiders know that we don't? Remember, US-based projects as well, they are layer ones. Do insiders know something that we don't? Let me know in the comments what your personal thoughts are, because we're seeing some quite impressive moves coming in, but we can also say that these projects were pretty much stagnant for months and months, and now they're starting to heat up. That's something also what we can pretty much take away from here. But let's take a look at the price of XRP here. If you're looking at the price of XRP, you can see this for yourself. We're sitting at about $2.80 right now. We do have some significant resistance at this range, actually around the $2.84 pretty much. If we're able to break out of that level, as stated to you guys before in my other updates, the $2.97 level is the next target I'm looking out for. So far so good. Love what I'm seeing here. 23.6, which pretty much opens a talk for all-time highs, and that's pretty much as easy as that is. As you guys know, 23.6 is where I start talking about all-time highs. Again, everyone has their own ways of looking at the market, but that is the zone where I start talking about all-time highs, and I think we are starting to heat up. Do let me know in the comments down below what your personal thoughts are, and thank you for your support. I will see you later today. It's been Crypto ZX, and peace out.